Premier League Leicester City vs Arsenal prediction, team news, lineups preview. Returning from Dubai unexpectedly worse for wear, Arsenal play their first game in 10 days on Saturday lunchtime. When they rock up to the King Power Stadium for a Premier League date with Leicester City. The Gunners have not been in action since being slain by Newcastle United in the EFL Cup semi-finals. Whereas the Foxes were controversially beaten by Manchester United in the FA Cup last Friday. Match preview. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal could have been forgiven for wanting to jump on the plane to the Middle East straight after their 5-1 mauling of Manchester City. And judging by their pitiful performance against Newcastle in the second leg of their EFL Cup semi-final, their heads were already in Dubai when they travelled to St. James Park. Rather than carry the momentum forward from their crushing of the champions, Arteta's men did not lay a glove on Alexander Isak's Newcastle, who unsettled William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and David Raya in a way Gunners have not ever been accustomed to seeing. Now only fighting for Premier League and Champions League glory between now and the spring, Arsenal would normally be heading home from their customary mid-season break with a spring in their step. But news of a season-ending hamstring injury to Kai Havertz has extinguished any fleeting optimism. The board's refusal to sanction a short or indeed long-term attacking signing in January has well and truly backfired in the most astonishing way. And even though Liverpool were denied victory in Wednesday's Merseyside derby with Everton in remarkable circumstances, the Gunners now find themselves 7 points worse off on the same number of matches. Nevertheless, Arteta's men have a wonderful unbeaten top-flight record to fall back on, avoiding defeat in each of their last 14 games in the Premier League. Not since the Arsene Wenger days of 2010-11 have they had a longer sequence without losing in the First Division. Making an incredibly swift return to the Old Trafford dugouts, albeit sitting in the unfamiliar away dugout this time, Leicester boss Ruud van Nistelrooy coined the new footballing phrase offside time to rival the age-old Fergie time as his side were unfairly dumped out of the FA Cup last Friday. With extra time looming after strikes from Bobby de Cordova-Reid and Joshua Zirkzee, former Foxes centre-back Harry Maguire peeled away from his marker to nod in a last-gasp free kick. Although replays clearly showed the £80 million man in an offside position. However, with no VAR in operation, the linesman's mistake was final and Leicester's efforts went unrewarded. Much to the understandable chagrin of Van Nistelrooy as the Dutchman endeavours to shift his side's focus back to the Premier League relegation dogfight. 2 points adrift of safety in 18th place in the Premier League table. The Foxes certainly have a dreadful streak of home form to thank for their current predicament, as they have lost each of their 4 Premier League games at the King Power, conceding 9 goals and failing to score any themselves. Only one Premier League side has ever lost 5 home games in a row without scoring in any of them, the doomed 2019-20 Norwich City crop, and Leicester's gut-wrenching 4-2 loss at the Emirates in September made it 6 straight defeats against Arsenal in the top division. Team news. As well as the stricken Havertz, Arsenal also lost Gabriel Martinelli to a hamstring concern in the second leg loss to Newcastle. His issue is not quite as severe. But the Brazil international is not expected back in action for another few weeks. With Gabriel Jesus ACL and Bukayo Saka hamstring still out for the long term, Arteta is well and truly down to the barest bones in attack. Where Ethan Nwaneri, Leandro Trossard and Raheem Sterling will link up unless Nathan Butler-Yedeji makes a surprise appearance. There are also fears that luckless defender Takahiro Tomiyasu might need to undergo imminent knee surgery. But Ben White trained fully in Dubai and might be in with a slim chance of making the Arsenal squad for the first time since November. Arsenal cannot expect much sympathy from Leicester when it comes to attacking concerns. as the Foxes are still sweating over the fitness of Jamie Vardy, whose 11 Premier League goals against the Gunners is only inferior to Wayne Rooney's 12 and Harry Kane's 14. Jan-Nick Vestergaard knock and Victor Christensen knock are in the exact same boat. But Ricardo Pereira thigh will miss another couple of weeks, and long-term knee victim Abdul Fatawu will not play again this season, thanks to De Cordovareed's strike at Old Trafford. Former Arsenal youth product Steffi Mavididi should be denied the chance to start against his old employers, having now fallen out of favour after initially playing his way into Van Nistelrooy's good books. Leicester City possible starting lineup: Hermansen, Justin, Akoli, Faze, Thomas, Ndidi, Sommer, De Cordovareed, El Khanis, Ayew, Vardy. Arsenal possible starting lineup: Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Odegaard, Partey, Rice, Nwaneri, Trossard, Sterling. We say, Leicester City 0-2 Arsenal. Defense might be the best form of attack for a decimated Arsenal side at the King Power, especially when taking Leicester's atrocious recent home form into account. The Foxes might have impressed at Old Trafford, but even a Gunners outfit with just 3 fit attackers will be a different kettle of fish to an off-colour Man United. And we still expect Arteta's men to mark their return to British shores with a comfortable win. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.